Hello everyone, it's me Giovanni, and, well, I didn't know if I don't know if I wanted to make a video or not, but you know what, I'm gonna do it because, I'm not sure what else to do. I mean, I know, but, my mind's been a little fogged up. I've been thinking about this new story that I thought of. It may not be super original, but it's something that I thought of. Just something. For some reason, I remembered seeing a certain picture of a certain character turning into a werewolf. But when I searched that photo, when I try to find that photo on whatever search that I can, go on, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. It disappeared. It absolutely disappeared. And I was like, what? No. No. This cannot be. This cannot be. Why the hell would someone get rid of a beautiful picture? But then again, maybe it was too odd. Maybe it was too odd because a character turning in a certain character like that, turning into a werewolf. In that situation, in a certain situation where they would turn into a werewolf because of something, it would just seem unnatural. I mean, if it happened in another story where it's part of fandoms or whatever, like a fan-made story, then that's completely fine. But yeah, for some reason, the photo was gone, and I do remember it. It was about Indiana Jones. He turned into a werewolf. Somewhere. A cave. Somewhere. Where I can't exactly remember the details, but what I do know is that it involves something that Indiana Jones, Henry, took and wore or looked at, and for some reason that made him turn into a werewolf. And of course, normal people would be absolutely shocked, scared, and horrified about it, and I don't blame them. But like I said, that photo was just gone, and I can only remember just the photo, not the exact context of what happens in it. But I do know that it made me inspired. Certain things inspire me, whether it's due to characters that I've already created and trying to create a new story while still having the same elements of their already existing story that I had, or just something that I thought of, inspired by a movie that I watched, or a TV show, or I don't know, something. Okay. So what if this character? I mean, I'm pretty sure people have already done this before. I've already done this before. I know that someone has done this before who's now no longer with us. But you know what? He died, and probably happier in the afterlife. Sorry. But yeah, so what if these characters were taken from their pre-existing, how can I say it? Oh yeah, source. Their original source, the TV show or movies that they came from, the characters, and be in a different story entirely, while still being, the same character that we know and love. Just, you know. I just don't know how to say it. I feel so stupid. So, sorry. I don't know if I said about this before, but, since this new Wattpad update, or at least the update before the most recent one, this update, in my opinion, makes things so much more easier for me. It makes things so much easier to read one chapter at a time, or go to whatever chapter that I want to read, instead of scrolling down to each chapter or whatever, and then seeing an ad pop up. God, it was annoying. And what's worst of all is that the recent ads get so, like, you can't exactly find the X button on either, I don't know, but mostly my tablet, so I have to close the app and then go back onto the app, and then go back to the chapter that I was reading on that certain Wattpad story. Okay, so story idea 2. I originally had something else in the story idea 2 chapter, but I removed that and replaced it with story titled Sudden Surprise / Hellmoon / Lust of a Werewolf. Okay. Genre: horror thriller. Inspiration: mostly 1998 Devil in the Flesh. Starring Rose McGowan. Setting: California, 1991. During a beach party one summer night with friends, Janie Simmons was standing near the water in the sand. She decides to walk to somewhere quiet. Sometimes loud parties weren't her thing. She walked for a while before she found a cave and went inside. She walked for a bit and heard a familiar voice coming from inside. She finds her friend / colleague, Henry Jones, in one of the areas where she peeked her head out and saw him transforming into a werewolf. Janie didn't scream. She ran away, scared. Henry didn't notice her, especially when he transformed. His vision became blurry. She left the party and ran back home, locking the front door and back door, locking the windows, going to her bedroom and collapsing on her bed. An hour passed and Janie tried to get some sleep, but she couldn't. A few months later, Janie and Henry were both professors at Burnett College. Henry, who had no memory of what happened to him that summer night, taught archaeology. Meanwhile, Janie taught literature, one of her favorite subjects. After classes, Henry, who wore a gray suit with glasses, talks to Janie about a collaborative project suggested by the dean. When did the dean thought about this project exactly? Over the summer, during the night of the party. The response made Janie's blood run cold. Over the summer during the night of the party. Yes? Why? Is there something wrong? No, but I'm a bit shaken up about what happened at that party. I stumbled into a cave and found something that scared me almost to death. I ran out of there and left the party." She began crying. Henry then comforted her, hugged her. Janie then calmed down for a few seconds later and asked Henry if he remembered anything that night, and he said no. He clearly had no idea what had happened that night, or at least after, which made Janie relieved, but still a bit cautious. Henry looked at her with worried eyes. "Are you going to be okay?" Janie heads back home, closing the door behind her, thinking about the time when she met Henry 2 years ago at an abandoned bay where Janie and her parents used to visit. When she was sitting on the dock from far away, he noticed her on the other side and waved at her. He was tall, brown fedora, leather jacket, a messenger bag hanging from one shoulder. He approached her with a friendly smile, worn by someone clearly used to dangerous places. When he said his name to her, it was familiar to her. Henry Jones? It was the Henry Jones, the adventurous archaeologist, Indiana Jones. Janie was surprised to see him, but not ecstatic, like a fangirl or admirer. They then walked around the bay and talked. Janie came to the bay after breaking up with her boyfriend a week ago. Later, they decided to meet at a local coffee shop, which they slowly became friends. That's pretty much the story that I have for now. I should add a bit more of the dialogue that I thought of, but anyways, yeah. Oh my god. I know it's weird and all, but I mean, Indiana Jones is a werewolf. I mean, who am I kidding? Disney technically destroyed his character. But I mean, people get so upset over the most stupidest things. Especially a sequel where they didn't even want in the first place. I mean, I understand, but I'm not mad about it. But also, the end of that sequel where Indy reunites with Marion, just really sweet. Really sweet. Do I think that Indy should have handled his mission alone? Or at least with some help, especially if it's a newcomer? Yes. But did that newcomer really have to take the spotlight? Or at least, if I remember, that people thought of? No. But I'm not complaining if I didn't see the movie and don't care about it. It's fine. At least I'm glad that Indy reunited with Marion. And you know what? They deserve to be happy. Even if their relationship was a bit off from, their ages of how they met and such. Yeah, but hey, if they're happy together, and if they're both adults, and if they're both good people, then I'm okay with it. Okay? Okay. Anyway, that's all for this video. See you in the next one, tomorrow. Please stay safe. Please stay at home. Stay away from things that might make you uncomfortable in the outside world. Bye.